It's Filippo from the upcoming. Thank you for speaking with us. What do you think? Yeah, what do you think the public is going to learn about Alexander McQueen watching the documentary?
I think what was really nice, we were just talking about it with Gary, just before when we just met up a bit before, is that I think even if people feel they know him because they know his work or if they've spent time working with him, I think there's so many aspects and we cover such a big part of his career that there's always loads of details and elements that people are not aware of, especially before even he got to go to St. Martin's. I think only a few people are very aware of his trajectory, and I think people will always discover. And I think what we really wanted to show is as well all of the fun, the jokes, the laughter that there was working with Lee. A lot of people just concentrate on the very serious achievement. It was an amazing journey for people, it was a creative journey. And I think we tried to really focus on that and make sure people get a sense of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very emotional story and it's a lot of fun as well. So, yeah, I think you said it all. Next question.
So when you watch it, what are you most proud of?
I think just the fact that we got it made.
We're here tonight.
That we got something on the screen. Because it was a hard film to make. When we started, we didn't have any elements. We didn't have any archive. We didn't have any cooperation from anyone. So it's been a long, hard journey. And to get it to the point where it's on the screen and it's an hour and a half long is for us is the baseline achievement. But then what has been so satisfying in the early showings of the film, both here and in New York and in Toronto, has been that audiences have just responded to it so powerfully in the way that we really always hoped. It's a very emotional, immersive experience watching this film. And I think that's what we're really proud of. And the fact that we've made something that works on a big screen. It's, when you think of documentary, normally you think of, you think of TV or you think of an iPhone screen. And I think genuinely what we always hoped would be that we would make something that would fill a cinema screen. The fact that people are responding to it as a movie, I think that's our proudest thing, really.
Right, yeah. I think if you've lived in England for the last 30 years, his impact and his influence on not only the fashion world in music, visual. He directed music videos, he did art, he did so many other things. And I think he collaborated with so many other people and he included so many other mediums within his own work that I think he just crossed over so many arts and creative formats that right now, and even before, I think it was a story worth telling, and it just has a really strong impact and influence on people. I think as well, his story of rags to riches is a very special story, and I think he echoes with a lot of people. It's a very positive message that you can come from not much, and really with a hard work and true creativity, etc., you can reach the height of your industry.
I only heard fashion audience, and we're not making this film for a fashion audience because our feeling is that if we make a good film about Alexander McQueen, the fashion audience will come. But for us, what was really important was that we felt that McQueen was a completely unique person and an amazing spirit. And we really wanted to capture that and put that on film. We felt it was a very universal story. I mean, Ian was just talking about the fact that Lee came from a kind of a lower working class background, and he made it all the way to the top of the industry, an industry which is normally quite elitist. We think that's a very universal story, a very powerful example for people, and we want to bring people to this film that might have no interest whatsoever in fashion per se, but will just be struck by this rather extraordinary person and his amazing journey and the emotions that come with that, from the darkness to the joy.
Yes, it was, and we really think it could have been a 6-part TV series. But we always wanted to make a theatrical experience, a cinema experience. So we had to make hard choices from time to time. But I think the way we build the story and the emotional journey, and what we chose, we had Michael Nyman doing the soundtrack. I think all those elements made us and capable of creating this very visual, theatrical and emotional journey for the audience. And as well, all the contributors, we never treated the contributors as just people we interviewed for information. We always wanted everything they said had an emotional resonance with a potential audience. So we introduce all our characters and let them go away. They become almost like characters in a movie. We always wanted to make a movie, and I think we always said to ourselves, it should be emotion over information. Never, a lot of documentaries is about telling all the details and all the history. We miss some elements, and we have people say, oh, you missed that part. For us, it doesn't really matter. As long as we manage to take an audience from the beginning of the story and take them to the end and have them feeling and laughing and enjoying and crying at part, that was what we were trying to achieve.
I think the other thing is that we're really trying to have a very, it's a classical film structure in a way. And McQueen always said, if you want to know me, look at my work, look at my shows. Shows were very autobiographical. And so we felt that if we took a handful of those shows and made those the sort of like the anchors around which we told his life story, that we would have something that would fit perfectly within a 90 to 110 minute film.